Hello, once again, this is Brother Teacher. Today, I would like to share with you what I believe to be the 6 elements to good health. Now, let me preface this video by saying this. Oftentimes, we watch videos and commercials and programs, and we're looking into the artistry. We're looking into the lights, the glamour, the creation of that particular program that you're watching for aesthetic purposes. But you know what? That's not what we should be looking for when someone is conveying a message of truth to you, especially if that truth is going to benefit you in the short and the long term. In this particular instance, I'm referring to my video. I've done videos before in time past, years past. Nice background, sometimes music, sometimes not. But for the most part, no music, no embellishment. Because I'm speaking to every ordinary human beings as am I. I'm not trying to impress you. And if you want the message that I'm trying to convey to you about your health and wellness, for example, then that's what you're here for. You're not here to see all of the bells and whistles, So I just wanted to get that out initially. It's about the message, ladies and gentlemen. If someone is conveying something to you or trying to put out information that's beneficial to the masses, those that will listen and hear. So, here I want to speak on the 6 elements that are necessary for good health. And they are all important, no matter who you are, no matter where you are, and where you are from, your origin, your DNA, your sexuality, makes no difference. I'm talking to the human family right now. And these may not be in an exact order, but they are all relevant just the same. First, I want to say that food is one important element that we all need. What is food? In short, food is that which supplies necessary nutrients to the human body for the maintenance, growth, development, and overall well-being physically. It has to be real food, whole, W-H-O-L-E, whole food. That means food which is complete and not denatured, not missing anything that came with it by nature. Denatured foods are things that are processed. Those are the things that we don't need. Now, we'll talk about that again in the future in another video. We know that most of the foods that we consume, that we purchase in the grocery stores, are denatured. So, again, food was number 1. Real food. Number 2 is water. Fresh, pure water, void of chemicals, toxins, medications, parasites, for the most part. Pure water. It's number 2. Number 3, exercise. It seems to be pretty commonplace now that most adults don't exercise as often as they should, as we should. I believe that you should exercise some form of aerobic, cardiovascular exercise, if you will, something that's going to get your heart pumping, even stretching and conditioning, at least 3 to 4 times a week for 45 minutes or longer, minimally. We don't get that. If you don't exercise, you're eventually going to end up overweight. You're eventually going to end up with a sedentary type of lifestyle where you're going to have other medical issues. Heart problems. Your heart needs to be exercised, right? It has to. It's a muscle. It must be used. It must be stressed. And I mean that in a good way. Sometimes people believe as they get older, they don't have to exercise anymore. Why is that? We'll talk about that in the future again, and it's coming soon. I cannot be challenged on that. Just a footnote. Another thing we need, that was number 3. Number 4 is sleep. We cannot underestimate sleep. Sleep is necessary. If it were not necessary for us to go to sleep for a sufficient amount of time, then we would not have the ability to sleep. If you feel like going to sleep, of course it has to be a natural process, right? So the question now is, how much sleep? Some say 8 hours, approximately, depending on your age, your health condition even. 6 hours at the bare minimum. Now I know people who are entrepreneurs like myself who get by with about 4 to 5 hours of sleep. It depends on the individual. That's another subject as well. So we have covered food, water, exercise, and sleep. Just in general, so far. There's 2 other ones. Oxygen. That's another necessary element. And so, brother teacher, what do you mean oxygen? Wouldn't you get that through exercise? Not necessarily. Follow me here. Do you need oxygen to thrive, to stay alive? Don't your tissues in your body need oxygenated blood? Where do we get it from? The atmosphere, the air in which we live in, right? The air we breathe. Now, depending on where you live, or you by factories, or you living in a low or a high altitude, we have to have oxygen to thrive, ladies and gentlemen. Now, as far as oxygen is concerned, we have to learn how to breathe better too. Most of us only breathe thoracically, chest. We were taught that in school. How does a baby breathe? Diaphragmically, right? You engage more of your lung capacity when you breathe diaphragmically, which is how your body was originally designed to breathe, not shallow and thoracic. Okay, that's something for another subject in the future again. Now, it is good, wherever you live, if you can, still away early in the morning hours. Go out on your porch, your patio in your backyard, and do 5 minutes of deep inhalations so that you can revitalize those cells in your body, in your blood, okay? By breathing in fresh air. You can do this first thing in the morning, depending on where you are, and depending also on what environment you're in. If you can still away, like I said again, and find a place where you can get fresh air before all of the traffic starts bustling in your neighborhood or community. You can do it in the evening right before bed. 5-minute breathing exercise. We'll do that in the future as well. Now, all of the things that I just mentioned that we can do in the future, or I'll address in the future, I've already done those videos, but I'm going to do some more for you to add to this particular video here. I'm just touching the surface here. I'm going to go to the number 6 element that we need. It's perhaps the most important one. The way you think if you want good health. Stress is killing us, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, stress. There's physical stress from injury. There's stress from eating the wrong foods and taking drugs and inhaling toxic fumes, smoking cigarettes and drinking alcohol and taking drugs. There's stress from that. There's also stress that's emotional. That affects you physically. Yes, it does. This is not just an afterthought. This is just not something I pulled from the sky. Psychologists would tell you this. Stress, I can't pay my bills. My husband or wife is cheating on me. My boyfriend or girlfriend is cheating on me. I've gotten fat. I'm sorry about that brief interruption. But listen, stress will put you in your grave. It will. What's my advice? If you believe in God, if you believe in a creator, if you do, I would advise you to get close, get closer. Stay prayerful, think positive thoughts, read your Bible and or your Quran, whatever it is that you read to keep you motivated, to keep you enlightened, and to give you hope and strength. Continue to read that on a regular basis. And not only that, also read books that are by positive individuals. Motivational speeches, you can watch these on YouTube. You can go and watch motivational speakers. Do your due diligence and do your research. I know too many people, even more recently, that are suffering with depression. They're taking anti-depression medicine. Do you really need it? I'm not saying going against your doctor's advice is a good thing, but try to work through your issues and or your problems and find out what's the problem. What's the underlying issues to your stress and anxiety? Now, I know people are different. Some people are stronger than others, depending upon, how you came up, what you were exposed to, who was around you as far as a support mechanism. Did you have family around you? Did you have friends, or was it just you alone? Whatever the case may be, I want to encourage you that you can make it. And I'm speaking from experience. It's a true story. I'm speaking from experience, ladies and gentlemen. I have an amount of stress on me as I'm speaking to you. But you know what? It's normal to have stress. It's normal to have some forms of stress. At some point in time, we have to realize that this is part of our development as a human being. It's character building, and it should be character building. It should be. And that should be important to you, building character. It doesn't feel good, to be dealing with a situation that you feel helpless or hopeless, that you can't change, or you don't know your way out. Someone does. Someone is doing a greater job at managing their stress than you are, than I am maybe. Lean towards someone else. Don't just sit there and bottle it up inside. All you're going to do is exacerbate the problem. And it's going to mount up. You're going to end up with heart problems. You're going to end up with diabetes, because you're probably going to start eating the things that you don't want to eat. You're probably going to end up so depressed and even thinking suicide. I just had an individual not too long ago tell me that he was contemplating suicide because he's overwhelmed. You know how old this gentleman is? 24. I had to give him my talk. Spoke with him for about 25 minutes. I think he left feeling a lot better, but it took a moment to break past that mental barrier that he had already built up, that he didn't have any alternatives. But he doesn't have any real family around, and he's sort of a loner. I understood that, and I told him that. But we can all make it through this journey. And it's not a journey for everyone. I do know that you must accept the fact that you are on a journey. Some people are just existing, just marking time, as it were. But you are important. Your health is important. It's the most important asset that we all have, our health. Because if we don't have good health, we don't have anything else. You follow? How can you help anyone in any capacity if you are broken down? I don't want to say broken, because there's a lot of broken people. But if you're broken down and immobile here, how can you see clearly to help anyone else come out of their situation? And I'm speaking to parents too. I'm speaking to mothers and fathers and uncles and aunts and cousins and whoever, brothers and sisters, if you have family that's struggling emotionally and even physically, you have to be an example to them. There's no time like the present. Did you know that? And I've said this many times, it's redundant. We only have one life to live, ladies and gentlemen. Only one. We only have one shot at this thing called life. One shot. You know, that sounds repetitive. It is. Sometimes people don't want to hear that anymore. But it's the truth. Anyway, how long do you want to live? Do you want to be around to see your family? Do you want to be around to see your nieces and nephews and brothers and sisters and your cousins grow up? If you're an auntie or uncle or your mother or father, you want to see your grandchildren grow up and go to school and graduate school and start their first job and or career. Do you want to see those things? Do you want to experience those things? Experience your family for many years to come. Don't deny them the opportunity of having you as long as they possibly can. I could stay here longer, but I'm at work in another setting at another time. I'm going to spend a lot of time with you because it's necessary for some of us to hear this message. How important life really, really is. It's not getting any better out here in the world and society. Look at the wars that's going on across the globe right now. Russia attacking and killing innocent Ukrainians, men, women, and children, unprovoked. China is talking about taking over Taiwan. There are some tumultuous situations going on in this world today. Yes, it is. And for us to believe and or assume that it's not going to come to these shores, it's already trickled in. Look at the gas prices today. Look at the prices of goods. Just in general, it's going to get worse. Understand, we need to do this. We need to bind together. Not only as a biological family, but as a human family. So I gave you the 6 things for you to ponder on and then act upon that help you have good health. Note that I didn't say excellent. Minimally good health. Let's start today. Let's start loving ourselves. Okay? More than we ever have before. Do the right thing. Think positive thoughts. Eat real food. Get rid of the junk food. Drink pure water. Even if you have to put filters in your house, on your sinks, in your kitchen, your bathroom, your shower. Boil your water. Get a water purifier. Get rest. Sleep. Adequate amounts of sleep. Because that's when your body repairs itself. Think about positive thoughts. Make sure that you exercise 3 to 4 times a week. And don't cheat yourself. Every mile started out with the first step. Understand that. Comprehend that. That was all I had to say. If you have anything that you want to add in terms of words of encouragement to someone behind this particular video, if you have some experiences that you want to share, please do so. Do that in the comment section below. If you need prayer, if you need some help with exercise or what you should eat, I can guide you there. I can give you some information. If you need any help at all, any subject that you want me to address that I haven't touched on in a while, martial arts, health and wellness, whatever, relationships, I'm here. I am. Thank you for listening. Thank you for taking a moment out of your day to do something that's beneficial for you and yours. I'm Brother Teacher. I'll see you in the next video. And so long.